Hey YouTube, it's Kristin. You're watching Chatterbox Budget. Thank you so much for joining me for a video today. Hope everyone is doing well. It is Saturday, September 17th, 2022. It's 1:49 p.m. here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I am here to do my check-in for the second week of September. That will go from the 8th until the 14th. We'll be doing that in the YNAB app. That's You Need a Budget, and we're going to just dive right in. So on the 8th, I have a transaction for Amazon for $130 for clothing on my Prime Signature Visa. There was a deposit, so salary, but it's my paycheck. $1,659.38. That went to the ready to assign category in my main checking account. So the total amount that day was a positive balance of $1,529.38. Positive amount, I mean. And then on the 9th, we have Sam's Club, $159.61. That was a split transaction. Food was $74.36. Household was $34.28. And pet stuff was $50.97. And that was on my Capital One MasterCard. And then Walmart, $46.47 for miscellaneous on my Venmo Cash App. I impulsively purchased 24 blueberry muffin Kit Kats, the king sized. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Except that they are delicious. They melt in your mouth. And it is really hard to resist, eating them all the time. So anyway. Sam's Club, $46.06 for gas. That's on my Capital One MasterCard. I did finally fill up my gas tank. It was just below half full, and so I had not filled up since May 10th. So it was about 11 gallons, I believe. But to get 4 months worth out of a tank of gas is pretty good. In fact, half a tank of gas. Yeah, that was fun. And it was like I think it was $3.99 a gallon. Although I wasn't paying attention before I got it. I just knew I needed to fill up my gas tank. But I noticed after, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Because that's the lowest it's been in a while. Or it had been for a while. I don't know what it's at now. Walmart Pharmacy, $41.74 for pharmacy on my health savings account. Subway, $7.57 for food on my Venmo Cash App. HP Instant Ink, $6.42 for subscriptions on my Prime Signature Visa. Walmart, this is actually a credit for $34.24 for clothing on my Capital One MasterCard. Just returned some stuff. And then there are 2 contributions to my health savings account. Both of them are $57.69, and both went into the main fund in my HSA. So one was my employer, one was me. And then Best Buy was also a credit for $201.59 for electronics on my Capital One MasterCard. I had purchased a wireless or a cordless, whatever, a wireless keyboard and mouse, and also a wireless headset to use for work for my home computer, or my work computer, I should say, but since I work from home, and it was out of pocket, so I wasn't asking my employer to, to reimburse me, because I'd have to order it through them, I believe, and I just wasn't, I didn't have to have them. They were something I wanted, so I figured I'd pay for it myself. Anyway, the keyboard ended up being too small, and so it was actually aggravating my carpal tunnel issues. And the mouse, something about the shape or something was making that worse too. And then the wireless headset worked really well for Teams, which we use for team meetings and things like that, since I do work from home, and so does the rest of my, most of my department does. But it did not work for the app or the program that we use for our phones through the computer. We have what they call a soft phone. It did not work with that. And so to spend $130, I felt like it needed to work on everything. And so I did take it back, even though it worked really well for Teams. But I needed something I could use for taking inbound calls as well as making outbound calls. So, okay. So that day, there was a positive amount of $43.39 because of the credits. Then on the 10th, we have a transfer to my Capital One MasterCard of $171.35. That was from my Capital One 360 checking account. That was a credit card payment. Rocky Mountain Power, $50 for electricity on my main checking account, or from my main checking account, I should say. Now, Rocky Mountain Power may have been on last week's, or the last check-in. I don't remember for sure, because originally I had it on the 2nd, because since the date changes every month, I just wanted to put on the 2nd so that it would be a set date and I didn't have to worry about it. But I ended up changing it to the date it actually was due, and so it may have been on both check-ins, but I did only pay Rocky Mountain Power once, $50 this month, so. That day, the total amount was a negative balance of negative amount of $50. Okay, I guess I could just hit the other button. That was funny. So on the 11th, there is Mind Your Own Business for $45 for miscellaneous on my Venmo Cash App. That was some birthday money. And so that day, it was a positive amount of $45. The 12th, we have a transfer to my Prime Signature Visa for $243.67. That was from my main checking account, and that was a credit card payment. So the total amount that day was $0 since they just wipe each other out. And then on the 14th, we have a transfer to my Capital One MasterCard for $56.68. That was from my Capital One 360 savings account, and that was a credit card payment. And then I have Mind Your Own Business. A credit of $205 went to my miscellaneous category for my Venmo, on my Venmo Cash App. And that was just because the money came back that I had loaned somebody. So that day, I guess I shouldn't do that. The total amount was a positive amount of $205. So that's that for those. Everything else is on track. As you can see, I'm doing the opposite of spending. I'm doing more returning than anything, but I do need to exchange a couple of the things I got from Amazon on the 14th or 15th. But I haven't done that yet. So those will show on a later budget. Okay, I gotta yawn, sorry. Oh, excuse me, I apologize. Ugh. Okay, with the air quality here, I've been having a hard time with my asthma all week long, and so trying to get a full deep breath is not going as well as I'd like it to. Okay, I've been playing around with the categories and how I name everything, and so it's gonna look a little different than last time, and it'll probably look different again next time. But, so, just looking at the budget for September. So I have $1,684.87 ready to assign. That is my paycheck from the 9th, and that is going to cover October's expenses since I've already covered September's. I'm leaving that there until I get paid again next Friday, and then I'm going to budget them both together for October. So I'm just going to do one budget for October instead of doing half and half each paycheck like I usually do. I'm just going to leave it there in the ready to assign category, and then when I get paid, we'll put it all together. Oh, excuse me, what I'm so sorry. Ooh, okay. So for my scheduled expenses, we assigned $2,464.62. We still have $475.59 available. And then with my unscheduled expenses, which are my flexible expenses, those are the things that it's basically their weekly expenses. We assigned $700 and we still have $405.73 left. So for food, we assigned $300. We've got $156.28. For gas, we assigned $80. We have $29.94 left. Household, we assigned $60. We have $52.26 left. Personal stuff, we assigned $60. We have $40.46 left. And then pet stuff, we assigned $200 and we have $126.79 left. I did move miscellaneous to my Freedom Funds category, so that'll show below. So that's going well there. So Freedom Funds, which are also called my irregular expenses, I'm not sure which way I want to go with this, so I'm just kind of playing around with it. But I had assigned $1,024.05. I still have $1,038. So there's nothing left in my auto care. Clothing, we assigned $418.58. There's $98.64 there. Electronics, we didn't assign anything, but we have $318.20 available since I had those returns. Gifts, we didn't assign anything, but we have $17.88 available. I do need to put money in there to pay for some gifts in September and October, but I'll probably transfer that from my miscellaneous fund or from electronics. I haven't done it yet. And then for home, nothing was assigned. We have $15.40 left. Miscellaneous, we assigned $200. We have $300.26 available. That's because of that, the money that was paid back. It's because some of it was borrowed in August. And then pet care, we have $150 assigned. I'm so sorry. And that's all still remaining. And then self-care, we have $100. That's still there. Shopping, we assigned $155.48. Nothing left of that. And then travel, we didn't assign anything, but we haven't. There's nothing left. Or nothing there. So with the pet care, what I decided to do, so I had pet insurance through my employer. They were taking it out of payroll deductions, and so they are no longer doing that. So I have the option to continue it directly with the insurance company. However, after considering it and thinking about it for a while, I decided that because I've had it since 2017 and we have never once met the deductible for either of the two dogs or the cat that I have on the insurance, I decided that instead of paying the premiums going forward, I'm just going to put the money I would have paid for premiums into a savings account for pet care. And then when they need services, I'm so sorry, you guys, I tried to do this when I wasn't yawning, but it hasn't worked out that well today. Anyway, so when they need services, we can just take it out of that savings account and use it for whichever pet needs it. That way, it just works. It'll work better for us. I have my dog, my son's dog, who is my grand dog. And I'm not necessarily responsible for her, but I want to have money there just in case, because he's, just in case he needs help with it. And then my cat. So, and I was paying about $160 to $180 a month for pet insurance. And then after I made that decision, I went into the website to figure out how much each pet was per month so I could see how much to put in savings. And I discovered that they want like $560 to continue the insurance directly through them. And so I'm glad I had already made the choice, because putting $500 towards a premium right now, and then I would still have to pay the deductible, that just didn't make sense to me. So it made more sense to put that money towards actual services that we may or may not need later. So that's what I'm glad I made that decision. Oh, goodness. I'm going to stick with it, because I thought it was going to be like twice as much. I didn't realize it was going to be like 3 or 4 times as much. So I think basically they're collecting for the rest of the year, which is fine. I just don't want to use my contingency fund for that when I may end up needing services too. So I'd be paying it basically twice. Okay, so that one's that. And then self-care, I have a hair appointment next week. And then a health savings account, I have $773.24 available in the main fund. I just leave it in the main fund, and then I just transfer it to whichever category I use. And then for savings, my contingency fund, I have assigned $512. I still have $653.72 left. Some of that was left over from last month. And then I put subscriptions up under the scheduled expenses, because the subscriptions do have a scheduled date and dollar amount that's due. And that's how I define my budget, is by scheduled things that have a set due date, set dollar amount at the first of the month, and they're consistent. That's the scheduled expense. They are fixed because most of them are required to be able to survive, but I mean, like subscriptions I don't have to have, but I've already committed to paying them for this month, so I need to have the money available. Anyway, then for my annual expenses, which are fees and charges, things like my taxes, fees, and stuff like that, I have under their own category, because they're going to be in their own savings account. So I have assigned $201.38. I still have $201.73. I just paid for 2 of my Google One accounts. I've got one more due in October. It's like $25. And then I don't have anything due until December, when I have 1 or 2 that are due. And so, since I use a credit card to pay them, it just makes sense to have money sitting in savings, and then I can transfer money from savings over to my checking account to make the credit card payment. So, and I'm still working on that. I've got a couple of ideas for my accounts and how I want to rearrange things again. So, yeah. Anyway, so there's that. And then monthly subscriptions, we're not going to go over, because that just basically, I use that for budgeting purposes, but then I moved everything up to, it's already under the subscription category up here, subscriptions category. So then for my accounts, as of today, let's go back. So as of right now, for my budget accounts, I have $5,476.07. My main checking account has $2,804.51. $1,600 worth of that is my paycheck from last time. That's covering October's expenses. Side checking has $201.78. That is for my annual fees. I will be moving that to a savings account. I just haven't done it yet. And then my Capital One 360 checking has $565.02. As for my my unscheduled expenses. And then primary savings has $0. Oh, sorry, that's primary savings. Primary savings has a penny, and then secondary savings has $0. Capital One 360 savings has $622.97. That's where my contingency fund is right now. I may be moving that. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, and then my credit cards, all 4 credit cards, my Capital MasterCard, my Prime Signature Visa, my Discover card, and my Venmo Visa card. None of them have any balances due as of right now. My Capital One will have a balance due because I just ordered groceries today, but and then I've got some fees coming out of my Prime card. But right now, so sorry you guys, we are gonna go take a nap right after this. I say we, it's me and then my grand dog's here, and then my dogs, of course. Okay, and then my HSA, my health savings account, has $775.36 available. My Venmo Cash App, which is supposed to be my Freedom Funds, that one has $506.42. I think I'm going to change that because I'm not using that for the things that I meant to use it for. So I might put miscellaneous there instead and make miscellaneous its own little section. And then that way I could just transfer back and forth. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I've got to rearrange it though, because like I used it for food the other day, so I had to transfer money from my Capital One checking account to pay for the food, and I haven't done that yet. So it's just making my accounts not balance up the way I want them to, which isn't a big deal. The money's all there. The total amount available is the same. It's just in different accounts. So anyway, I may work on that. So that's it for week number 2. I may come back and do a closeout for August. I'm not sure yet, but I might try doing that through the web version of You Need a Budget on my Chromebook, because I did find a way to record the screen on there without having to pay for software, which is one of my favorite things in the world to be able to do. I love that my tablet came with the software I'm using, or the app I'm using to record this, so I don't have to do anything, and I don't edit my videos. That's why I don't post a ton. I don't do a lot with my channel, just because to me it's just showing you another point of view. I'm not investing a lot of time or energy into this just because I don't have the time or energy. Anyway, but it's fun to share, and I love interacting with everybody. What was I saying? I don't know. Anyway, oh yeah, so I might do a closeout for August just to show you, or maybe even just do like the last 3 months to show you how the month ends up, because I go directly into the next month, and so nobody ever gets to see how the month ended up, and so I don't ever show how much I carried over from the previous month. So I'm gonna see if I can make that work. I'm gonna try it, and if not, I apologize. I'll be back at the end of week 3, which ends on the 21st, and I would probably, I'm not sure what day I'll be back after that, but then I also need to do a budget for October as soon as I get my second paycheck, which is next Friday, and I'm not sure what next Friday's date is, but I feel like it's the 24th or something. And then I could do a budget for October. So being a month ahead on covering my expenses again has been so nice. Now that I've gone through having it and then not having it and having it again, I feel like I'm going to be a lot more careful with how I spend my money in the future. I hope. Not that I wasn't careful, but when I got a little bit, when I had a little bit of extra, oh, I apologize. Where did this come from? I did go a little bit more into spending than I probably needed to do, which, whatever. Anyway, also, so it's been a year since I paid off my credit cards. I took out a 401k loan, paid off my credit cards. I have not paid interest since, I think, September of 2021 on my credit cards. I do have loans that I am paying interest on, but there's a personal loan, and then I've got 2 Affirm loans. The Affirm loans do not impact my credit score, and so I'm still going to get them paid off as quickly as I can, but that's why I did it through Affirm instead of using a credit card, is because any credit card use goes on my credit score, so I wanted to keep that going. But it's really interesting because I've gotten up to, I want to say I'm at 765 or something. I have an excellent score in both TransUnion and Equifax, and it's taken a while to get there, but considering I use my credit cards regularly and I pay them off regularly, the fact that I've gotten that high, yeah, it goes down once in a while, but it always goes back up again. But it's kind of fun. The Credit Karma keeps trying to convince me to open another credit card, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I think I have enough available. So, and that's the other thing with the pet insurance. When I first signed up for pet insurance in 2017, I did not have the funds available to be able to pay for something if it was more than the deductible and the 10% that I would have had to pay. So the insurance was a great idea because that would help me to cover some of that cost. But now that I have my credit cards paid off, even though I don't want to use them, I have them available and I could use them if I needed to. I'd rather do that and instead of paying premiums, because premiums I don't get back. Whereas credit cards, I couldn't, just not use them, and then I'm okay. Anyway, okay, I hope that made sense. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm feeling a little, like I said, the air quality here has been really bad, so my asthma's been really bad, and when my asthma is bad, that means I'm not getting as much, oxygen or whatever. So it's just been a little bit of a weird week. So I will go post this and share this and let you guys have I hope you have a fantastic week. I should say that, yeah. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. I will be here hanging out with the dogs and trying to get back on top of this whole thing. The weather's changed, so now it's raining and it's cooler and it just feels so good outside, and so that'll help. But I tend to have this happen every single year during September because fire season is very, very bad for anyone with asthma. But it's just been really interesting this year because I feel like it happens sooner than it usually does. But anyway, thanks you guys. Take care of yourselves. Have a good day. Bye-bye.